Welcome to our thrilling journey through ancient Egypt. Today, we'll unveil 40 fascinating facts that will transport you back in time.
Did you know that ancient Egypt was one of the first civilizations to develop a writing system? Their unique script, hieroglyphics, combined symbols and pictures to convey complex ideas.
The Great Pyramid of Giza is the last of the 7 wonders of the ancient world still standing. It was constructed around 2580–2560 BC and originally stood 146.6 meters tall.
The Egyptians were pioneers in medicine. They performed surgeries and prescribed herbal remedies, making significant contributions to the field of health.
Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt, was a shrewd politician and diplomat. She spoke over a dozen languages and was more educated than many of her contemporaries.
The Nile River, flowing over 6,650 kilometers, is the longest river in the world, providing essential water and fertile soil for agriculture.
Instead of using a wheel, Egyptians excelled in shipbuilding, which greatly enhanced their ability to trade along the Nile and beyond.
Gold and goldsmithing were highly advanced in ancient Egypt. The widespread use of gold in jewelry reflected their wealth and belief in the afterlife.
Mummification was a complex process. Egyptians believed that preserving the body was essential for the soul's journey in the afterlife. The Sphinx, a mythical creature with the body of a lion and a human head, was built around 2500 BC and has puzzled archaeologists for centuries.
Ancient Egyptians worshipped a multitude of gods, over 2,000. Each deity was associated with different aspects of life and nature.
The ancient Egyptians were quite advanced in mathematics, utilizing a base 10 system and creating a calendar with 365 days.
Egypt made significant advances in astronomy. They could predict the annual flooding of the Nile with remarkable accuracy.
Papyrus, an early form of paper, was invented by the Egyptians and was made from the pith of the papyrus plant, allowing for record-keeping and art.
The Valley of the Kings served as a royal burial site for many pharaohs, including Tutankhamun, whose tomb was discovered largely intact in 1922.
Cats were revered in ancient Egypt. They were considered sacred and often depicted in art. Killing a cat, even accidentally, could result in severe punishment. Art in ancient Egypt followed strict guidelines, ensuring that figures remained in proportion and consistent across different mediums.
The ancient Egyptians believed that women had equal rights, including property ownership and initiation of divorce, which was progressive for their time.
Many structures were adorned with intricate paintings that had functional purposes, such as protection or guidance for the deceased in the afterlife. The Ba and Ka are 2 parts of the soul in ancient Egyptian belief. The Ba was the personality that could move freely, while the Ka was the life force.
Pyramids were not just tombs, they were built as monuments to honor deceased pharaohs and facilitate their journey to the afterlife.
The scorpion mace head is one of the earliest artifacts showing unification of Lower and Upper Egypt, often associated with the pharaoh Narmer.
The ancient Egyptians used a variety of cosmetics made from minerals, tree resins, and oils, showcasing their care for appearance and health. The Book of the Dead is a collection of spells and texts meant to guide the deceased through the afterlife and into the realm of the dead. Agriculture thrived in the Nile Valley due to the annual inundation, allowing Egyptians to cultivate crops such as wheat and barley.
Ancient Egyptian architecture inspired many civilizations that followed, especially in their monumental buildings and temples.
The practice of writing with ink made from soot and water solidified record-keeping, allowing Egyptian civilization to flourish.
Many statues and reliefs depict pharaohs in an idealized form, representing their divine nature and power. The dead were buried with objects they might need in the afterlife, including furniture, jewelry, and food. The ancient Egyptians had a complex taxation system based on crops, livestock, and labor, which contributed to the stability of their economy.
Kings were often buried with their servants, who were believed to accompany them in the afterlife, a practice known as retainer sacrifice.
Hieroglyphics were not just used for ceremonial purposes, they also served practical needs, including records of trade and agriculture.
The Rosetta Stone, discovered in 1799, was key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs, unlocking the language of a long-lost civilization.
Egypt is home to the only remaining one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, the Pyramid of Khufu at Giza.
The sistrum, a musical instrument used in rituals, provides insight into the cultural and spiritual life of ancient Egyptians.
Some ancient Egyptians believed in a cyclical nature of life represented by the scarab beetle, symbolizing transformation and renewal.
Did you know that some hieroglyphs represented sounds, while others represented whole words or ideas? This intricate language system is fascinating.
The last mind-blowing fact: Cleopatra was not Egyptian, she was of Macedonian Greek descent. Her lineage traces back to Ptolemy, one of Alexander the Great's generals.